Paris Saint Germain missed out on signing Manchester United midfielder Paul Pogba. Even as a young boy, Paul Pogba was a perfectionist when it came to his football. At his first club on the outskirts of Paris, Pogba would be furious with himself when he misplaced a pass or made a mistake. It was the demanding streak that made him a leader at US Roissy-en-Brie, according to club president Sambou Tati, who coached Pogba when he was at the Stade Paul Bessuard. Pogba may have lost his role as one United's potential captains under Jose Mourinho, but from the age of 6 to 13 at the small football club locked between the local horse riding school and the cemetery, he was the chief of the dressing room. This club is proud of the role they played in developing one of the most famous names in football. Some of Pogba's shirts adorn the walls of the offices, and he has continued to visit, when time allows, since his departure. It was on these fields that the goal-scoring form he has shown under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was first honed. Under the Norwegian, Pogba has been unleashed in a more advanced midfield role, scoring 8 goals in his last 8 Premier League appearances, but while it might be a relatively new role at Old Trafford, it's one those at his first club have seen him dominate games and before. He played near the striker, in the position he is playing now in Manchester, Tati said of Pogba's 7 years at US Roissy. He was a very good player for us, he liked to dribble and he had a good mentality. He was the chief of the team, he was a leader in the team. He hated losing, and when he missed the pass or made a mistake he was very angry with himself. In Roissy he was a real perfectionist. Pogba might have grown up supporting Marseille, but he was playing his football as a child around 20 miles from Paris Saint Germain's Parc des Princes stadium. He was one of France's hottest talents, the talk of the Paris suburbs, but Pogba had to move to Le Havre on the northern coast to begin his academy career. According to Tati, there was never any interest from PSG in Pogba, who was born in Lagny-sur-Marne, just 16 miles from the center of Paris, and he blames the scouting systems in place at the club then. While they were casting an eye over the whole of France, PSG were missing talent on their own doorstep. It was a mistake they made with Kylian Mbappe as well, one that cost them €145 million to put right in the summer of 2017. When he was young they weren't interested in him. Monaco and Le Havre were interested in Paul when he was young, remembers Tati. The scout of PSG in this area at the time, when Paul was young, was not very good. They weren't very good in Paris generally. They didn't really search the players of the region in Paris. They watched the whole country, but they didn't really focus on the area around Paris. Pogba moved to Le Havre after a year at US Torcy, a club he moved to from US Roissy. He did 2 years at Le Havre before his first move to Old Trafford. It was a rapid rise for a player who has ambitions of being the world's best, but he wasn't dreaming that big while at US Roissy. According to Tati, it was as his career progressed that his targets altered. I think when you start to play football and you go in the academy, your first ambition is to become a professional, he said. When Paul went to Le Havre his ambition was to play for the first team. After he played with the youth section he then went to Manchester. When he went to Manchester he wanted to play for a big team. He wanted to be a big player. PSG visit Old Trafford on Tuesday for the first leg of the last 16 Champions League tie, before Pogba returns to his home city for the second leg on March 6. It will be the first time he has faced them in a competitive game, and the 25-year-old will return to France and to Paris as an hero. Pogba's leadership skills were on show for France during their World Cup win last summer, with the midfielder one of the most important players in Didier Deschamps' team. That has cemented his status in the mind of the French public, and has made him even more of an inspiration for some of the 600-plus players at his first club. Paul is a big hero in France. When you win the World Cup you are a hero. For the people of Roissy-en-Brie and for this country he was the hero, said Tati. He's the teenager of Roissy-en-Brie and has gone on to win the World Cup. It's good to have that kind of inspiration.